Good morning, everybody. Now we've got the whole gang here. Hello, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. How's everybody doing? It's time for our Sunday morning Cruise Chat Live. I'm Walter, your independent travel agent with Where's Walter Travel, and we book your cruises, your land, luxury, expedition. Our services are truly 100% free to you. So if we can help you in any way, just reach out at where'swaltertravel.com, or if wherever you're watching me, there's links in the description, there's links in my bio, there's links everywhere. But where'swaltertravel.com, just reach out, set up an appointment, and I will give you a call, and we'll book some travel. So how's everybody doing? Were you around yesterday? Did you see the awesome show with Gary Bembridge? If you didn't, it is on replay right now over on the YouTube side. Oh my gosh, what a nice friend. I mean, truly, he's truly a nice personal friend now. He's given me so much advice over these past almost 3 years that I've been running the travel agency. And of course, we are one of the two travel agencies here in the United States that Gary recommends through Tips for Travelers. So we're very honored for that. So yay. Yay. So very excited. I hope you all saw the show. It was a really fun show. I got through one of my questions because you guys were asking so many of your own. But hey, Becky, Mimi, Carol. Carol says it's 55 days until the Enchanted Princess with Tony and Jenny B. The La Lita Loca Canada New England cruise. That's fabulous. Rebecca, how much time do we have until we go to Canada?
47 days.
47 days we head to Canada. We're going to be on the Brilliant Lady. So we'll wave to you guys on the Enchanted Princess as we come down.
Actually, I think by the time they're heading to Canada, we're already well past.
Well, we'll just wave anyway. You'll see us, guys. So let's see. We got Annette, Becky, Corey. How you doing, Corey? Peggy's here. Bill's fan. SL again from Scotland. Man, thank you so much for joining us like pretty much every week. And thanks for the questions yesterday during the Gary show. That was awesome. Eric, you got 5 days until your Alaska cruise on the Joy. Oh, my goodness gracious. Buddy, I hope you have cleared your phone out so you are ready to take pictures. You are going to take so many pictures in Alaska. It's going to be amazing. Hi, Annette, Kurt, John, Sue, Mimi. Hi, everybody. So good to see you all. Terry has 40 days until the breakaway in the Med. That is awesome. How about all y'all watching? When is your next cruise? When are you ready to sail? I know some of you are tuning in. We got a big announcement today. We've been teasing our Christmas Market River Group Cruise for 2027. We're ready to announce the date. We're ready to announce the river. And then this week, we're going to start booking. We're just finalizing up a couple of things with the cruise line. And then hopefully the plan is this week to open the booking. But we want to let you know now what the dates are going to be and what river we're going to be on, or at least we're going to let you know today. I'm not going to let you know just yet. You have to wait just a little bit, and then we'll make the big reveal. But we're ready to at least give you guys the date so you can start planning. And we're going to tell you which river we're going to be on.
Because brutally enough, the group departments don't work on weekends.
Yeah. The group department still has to get us a little bit of information, and then we can open it up. But here's the big thing. These ships are small. We're talking just a little over 100 people. So if you want to join, and of course, our group, it's not going to be all that big. So we're not going to have a whole lot of group space. So if you want to get in on this Christmas Markets River Cruise, then you are going to want to email me as quick as possible and say, hey, Walt, put me on the list. Put me on the list. So you're going to be alerted first when we open up the booking. John said, there goes his Amex. That's hilarious.
Don't say put me on the list in the live stream. Email him.
Yeah, email me. You got to email me. If you want to go on this, email me. So, SL, you are
paper trail.
Whoops. SL, where did you just go? There it is. So many people making comments. Yesterday's live is worth a second view. Lots of points covered. Thank you, SL. That was a really good show. If you didn't see yesterday's show with Gary Bembridge, go on our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube or you're watching us anywhere else, go on the YouTube channel. Check it out. It's also on our Facebook page. So user 586 is going on the Star of the Seas in December. I am going on the Star of the Seas.
14 days.
14 days. 2 weeks from today, I will be on the Star of the Seas. It will be the first 14-night cruise.
7-night cruise.
Huh?
7 nights.
7-night cruise, whatever it is. We're going in 14 days on a 7-night cruise. I'm excited to see what this ship is all about. But I saw that last night or the night before they debuted Back to the Future on the ship. Very excited to see that show. Oh my goodness gracious, I cannot wait to go see that. Cruise RX says, count us in for Christmas. Douglas wants to go for Christmas. Yes. Cruising Kimberly, do I book all kinds of travel in addition to cruises? Yes, we do. Land tours, expedition. We can do somewhat of custom planning. It just depends on, what you mean by custom, if it goes there. And of course, the theme parks, Disney, Universal, all that good stuff. So yeah, we do actually book and plan. In fact, our land tour business is starting to grow a little bit more, and especially like pre and post cruise. Instead of just, we're just going to spend a couple days in Italy. No, let's spend a week or 10 days in Italy before we get on the ship so we can really explore Italy since we're going to go that far. So that kind of a thing. So yeah. So we do book all kinds of travel in addition to just the cruises. I know we talk about cruises every Sunday, but we do book everything. And I have had some of the travel partners come on my Thursday nights. We have celebrity cruises coming on. Not Thursday, but the following Thursday. So a week from Thursday night, we're going to have celebrity cruises coming on. We're going to try so hard to beat him up and get some river cruise information out of him. I don't think he's going to be able to tell us much, but we're going to try.
Not unless they happen to release it before then.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think the only thing you got out of him was soon.
Exactly. So Annette says they have 4 days before they leave from Cape Liberty. Any hint on how to survive rough seas? Great question, Annette. So number one, there is the bands for your arm called C bands for your wrist. You put a pressure point on your wrist. Stephanie swears by these. Our good friend Stephanie, she's taken like 100 cruises or something like that. She wears those C bands, and that's the actual brand name.
And if you use those, make sure you look at the
instructions and put them on correctly.
Carefully.
We've seen a lot of people that these aren't working and they're not wearing them right. Secondly, ginger candy, like hard ginger candy. It's supposed to be good ginger ale. And then the crews swear by green apples to keep yourself settled. So yeah. So that's some of what I have right there. Jay wants to know if we've been on the Carnival Firenze out of LA. We have not yet. No. In fact, we really want to get on her sister to Venezia, which spends some time over here in Port Canaveral. We have sent clients on it. Yeah, I describe it like kind of like an adult carnival, if you will, because that was built by Costa Cruise Line. They were built in Italian styling. The Firenze is based on, let's see, I know the Venezia is based on Venice. I can't remember what the Firenze.
Florence,
that's it. So kind of like Florence style. And I love that Carnival left it alone. They pretty much left everything there. They added some Carnival touches here and there. But when you go on a ship, it doesn't look like a Carnival ship. It looks more like an adult kind of ship to me. And so far, all the reviews that I've gotten from our guests, both on Venezia and the Firenze, is they really liked it. They really enjoyed it. So, if you'd like to talk about the Firenze and getting booked on there, we'd be more than happy.
And they're a Vista class ship, so they're very
they're Vista class ship. They're
similar in design to the Vista, the Horizon, the Panorama.
Exactly, and they I don't think they were ever even launched. They were built for the Asian market, and then the pandemic hit. I don't even think the ship ever even got launched until Carnival brought them over. So yeah, how can you see millions of penguins? Is that Antarctica? Antarctica, right? Yeah, you would take an expedition down to Antarctica is how you would do that. So how far in advance can you reserve shows on Royal Caribbean? So that would be the Oasis class, the Icon class, and the Quantum class. Generally, the first day of the month before your cruise. So if your cruise is in August, it'd be July 1st. In general, that's how it works. Yep.
More or less.
More or less. That's usually how it works on there. So yeah. Mary is suggesting patches behind the ear for rough seas. Now, if you're going to do that, you've got to check with your doctor because there can be side effects with those. So I don't recommend just buying those patches to put behind the ear for motion sickness unless you check with a doctor just to make sure, you want to be safe.
And it may be counter-indicated depending on your personal medical conditions.
Yeah. Cruise RX. Hey, Peter. Oh my gosh, I was going to call you Paul. Peter Paul, how are you? How are you, Peter? Do we know when Celebrity will release the river info? No. And in fact,
soon.
Yeah, soon. We just met with our celebrity rep this past week, to be honest with you. Corey and I went and had a nice cup of coffee with Alex. You're going to see Alex on my show a week from Thursday night. And 3 weeks ago-ish, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had our big week-long training at KHM Travel Group up in Cleveland, and they were supposed to give us the first announcement of all things Celebrity Rivers. Well, that talk got canceled, and they're like, nope, we're not saying anything. We don't know if the whole Amsterdam announcements have kind of played into that. Amsterdam just recently announced they're going to severely cut back on the amount of river ship that can come in. And part of their decision-making is, did you come last year? Well, obviously, Celebrity's brand new. So in order for Celebrity to get some of those slots, they're going to have to buy them. So that may have played into it. There's this whole Amsterdam thing. So we don't know. We honestly don't know. The only word from Celebrity, we did get an email that said, get ready, because when we announce it, it almost sounds like they're going to announce it and then go on sale very, very quickly right after that. So we've been told to get ready, but we've been told to get ready a few other times. So
and soon is a very relative term.
Yeah. And John thinks that the Captain Club members are going to get the details first. I don't know. I really don't know. We really don't know how that's going to work out. They haven't really said much of anything. So good morning from Mims. How are you guys? So let's see. So we've been talking almost 10 minutes. Let's talk about the Christmas cruise. I know a lot of y'all want to talk about this Christmas cruise. You've been pinging me quite a bit since we first teased it. If you're new to the channel, by the way, I invite you to subscribe, like, share, do all those wonderful things. But we've been kind of talking about 2027 is going to be the year that we finally do one of my big buckets, which is a Christmas Markets River cruise. And we've been telling y'all it's going to be in December. It's going to be in 2027. Well, we have the date and we have the river. The date is December 7th through the 14th of 2027, and we will be on the Rhine River. And the reason why I'm not telling you the ship and the cruise line yet is because we are finalizing up the information with them this week. And as soon as we have that signed, we're literally going on sale immediately. And that's going to give you guys almost 2 years to pay for this thing, like a year and a half to pay for this thing. So that's another reason why we're doing it in 27, not 26. We want to give you guys plenty of time to come join us on what will truly be a bucket list journey. So we'll be on the Rhine River. I can tell you one of the reasons why we selected this specific itinerary is because Rebecca really wants to go to Cologne. Cologne has like 10 Christmas markets or something like that, Rebecca?
A whole mess of them.
Yeah. So that's the one hint I will give you is we are going to Cologne. It will be Germany heavy because we'll be on the Rhine River, obviously. And I'm very excited. So this will be a 7-night cruise. And there are pre and post extensions from the cruise line, or you can build out your own. I think Rebecca and I are kind of considering building out our own. I don't know if we're going to do pre and post or just one or the other, but I think we're going to kind of build out some of our own. And we chose this week because, it's after Thanksgiving. It's well before Christmas. You get home 2 weeks before Christmas. We were looking at another one actually the following week, but we just felt like, y'all would be rushing to get home for Christmas for those of you who celebrate. So this is hey, Scott, how are you? So this is what we're going to be doing. It will be December 7th through the 14th. So what I would recommend is if you are interested, a lot of people have said they are interested, and I'm kind of like, I'm trying to take notes. Please email me today. Please email me today and say, Walter, I'm interested in the river cruise. And as soon as we have the final details, I'm actually going to notify all you guys first.
And use the subject line, Christmas Market Group Cruise.
Yeah, or whatever, just say because I'm going to read it, and then we're going to put you on the spreadsheet.
It would be nice to have it in the subject line.
Rebecca likes everybody. So if you don't use Christmas Market River Group Cruise, Rebecca's just going to throw you out. That's it. No, just kidding. No. But it will make it a lot easier.
It will.
It will make it a lot easier for you. So please do let us know if you want to come along. So Douglas, no deposit info, no pricing info, no nothing yet. And the reason for that is we have the public pricing. We're waiting to see what are they going to offer us. Are they going to offer us a discounted rate, or are they going to offer us, some additional amenities on the ship? So we're just waiting on that. We're hoping early this week that we'll have it. But the plan is by the end of this week, we will be notifying everybody who reached out to us, and we're going to give you all the details. You're going to have the pricing. You're going to have, no, I can't tell you to start and end points yet. I can just tell you, Hatman wants to know, can you tell us where you're starting and ending? I can just tell you it's going to be Germany-centric. It'll definitely be Germany-centric, and we're going to Cologne. So, and it'll be one way. Almost all of these cruises are one way, so we will be heading either northbound or southbound. So we're keeping it a little bit cryptic for a reason, and that reason will be revealed when we release it. So so sorry. But hey, at least we got the date now, and we do plan to. Oh, as soon as they're like, okay, Walt, your group is set, go. We're going. There's going to be no stopping at goes, no going to be waiting. Anybody who has emailed us or expressed interest, if you've expressed interest to me already, please go ahead and send me another email, send me another reminder, and say, hey, well, I told you I want to be notified of this. It's going to be a great cruise. We have been talking about it for a while. We've been waiting for the itineraries to open up. Last night, we actually watched some more vloggers. In fact, we found a new set of vloggers last night that we really enjoyed, doing basically this itinerary. And I just started looking up. I'm like, let's take a look at some of the cruise lines, because we were looking at 2 cruise lines. Then we kind of expanded the pool as more and more 27s came out. So there's a whole bunch of 2027s out right now.
Actually, there isn't.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few different cruise lines that all have the 27s out. So we started expanding, our reach, because we've been talking about 2 cruise lines, and we just kind of, hey, look, there's a few more out there to have them. So we started expanding the reach and looking around to see who all has 27s, and lo and behold, we landed on one.
Can say one thing: it's not going to be Viking.
Yeah, it's not going to be Viking. And the reason why it's not going to be Viking, because if it was, your payment would be due in full like next March. You would have to pay 18 months in advance. And I don't like that. I personally don't like that policy. So so it's not going to be Viking. I think Viking has a lovely product.
But
yeah. Riviera is interesting. Kathy is pointing out Riviera on TikTok, that they were looking at Riviera. The only issue with Riviera is their Christmas market cruises are 5 nights. I don't know why. They don't have any 7-night Christmas market cruises. They keep them all short, maybe so they can squeeze an extra 1 or 2 in there. Plus, they can keep the price down by, making it 5 nights versus 7 or 8. So yeah. So they are great, and Riviera is definitely one that we're looking at, like for shall we say, like regular river season, not Christmas market. In fact, Riviera will be on one of my Thursday night shows soon. Just waiting for Bruce to get me a date. So that's it. So that's what we're doing, folks. We're going to be taking your requests for the Christmas markets for 2027, December 7th through the 14th, 2027. And yeah, that's exciting. I'm just so excited. We finally nailed it last night. We finally nailed it down last night, and we're just waiting for word back on the group department to say you're good to go, and then we're going to be ready. So SL, yeah, this is it is going to be interesting. SL is saying that it'll be very interesting to get the details of the Celebrity River ships and the routes. European rivers are already popular at various points of the year. Keen to hear more, but just need to wait and see. If we look at Galapagos, they have the Flora was purpose built for Galapagos, and it's basically all suites. It's all retreat sky suites that they start with a retreat sky suite, and they go up from there. One of the things that Gary was talking about yesterday is that, there are financial numbers. To make the numbers work, you got to have at least 100 people on these ships. Usually that's like the way a lot of these river cruise lines work. You got to have at least 100 people on there to make that financial model work. Now, if they're going to do kind of a similar idea to what they did with the Flora, which is we're just going to start with a sky suite and we're going to go up from there, which is kind of what they hinted at. It almost sounded like, yeah, we're going to bring suites. We're going to bring our retreat to the rivers. It's kind of what it sounded like what they're going to do. They might be able to get away with having, 75 people on a ship versus 100 and make those numbers work. So we really got to wait and see. I think the rivers are getting pretty crowded. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how their ships are different. from everybody else, because I mean, you only have just, it's not like building a ship and just say, well, we're going to add another, 40,000 gross tons and we're going to add the stuff. You just don't have that room. You don't have the real estate on a river. The ships need to be within a certain size. They need to be able to get under bridges. They need to be able to deal with the water levels. And there's like so many other things that these river ships are constrained by, that you don't have those constraints on the ocean. So it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they're going to do. So,
we can say it's not going to be celebrity too.
What's that?
It's not going to be celebrity river cruises. There, 2 of them are out.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not going to be, because we don't even know. Yeah. Silver Honda has 113 days until the grandeur of the seas. Oh, what a great little ship. Looking forward to driving over to Skyway Bridge. Yes, and then going underneath it. I'll tell you, going underneath the Skyway Bridge in Tampa is really cool. We've done it 3 or 4 times now on the Margaritaville Islander. Waiting for the announcement on the Beachcomber. Where is the Beachcomber going? Come on, Margaritaville. You got that big ship coming. Where is it going? It'll be great to find out. Sue and Phil are saying at that time, 7 days is good, so you're home for the holidays. That was our main goal with the Christmas Markets cruise. We know everybody, we know a lot of people celebrate with your families at home, or you're going somewhere for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, all the holidays are coming up. So we kind of wanted to drop it right in the middle where, you could, Thanksgiving is over, Christmas hasn't started. A lot of the holidays haven't really started up yet. So, yeah, we thought the 7th through the 14th was a nice little window of opportunity.
Yeah, and we had originally thought about doing longer than the 1 week, but there were a lot of factors why that's not going to happen. But I do want to do a longer river cruise at some point that isn't Christmas.
Absolutely, yeah, and in fact, we picked this ship specifically for Christmas. This river cruise line specifically for Christmas, because we like the layout of the ship in the room. So, but there's a different ship and a different cruise line that we're going to do. Like if we go in the summertime, and go do some of the other rivers. But I'm so excited to get started with our river cruise journey. I'm hoping maybe we can get on a ship before then. Right now, I'm actually part of the advisory board for KHM Travel Group, and a lot of my colleagues are actually getting ready, or they're on a ship right now. There's a river cruise happening right now with my colleagues. I just wasn't able to go, so I'm hoping next year I can go, because I believe it's going to be on another river cruise. So maybe we'll get our first river cruise journey next year. That'll be great. And
we don't have a ton of cruises planned for next year already, so we have more open space. So hopefully.
Yes. John, I'm not going to say the name of the starting city on here, but I'll be glad to tell that to you. I'll send that to you later. Yep, absolutely. John wants to know what's the starting city.
I don't think you should release that to nobody.
Okay, John, you're not going to find out.
I'm sorry.
So sorry. I'm so sorry, John. You're going to have to wait like everybody else. I tried. Did you just hear that? The hammer came down.
I'm just saying that.
The hammer came down big time from Rebecca. No.
I want to make it fair for everybody.
That's true. Bills fan, should I pack my Canadian parka for the cruise? I'd say yes. What I would say is, just start watching some of these Christmas market river cruises in Germany. And you will see, like, there are people, oh, man, it's like 0 out today. Oh, man, it's windy out today. So,
But even like here, it can vary from year to year how cold it is in December.
So be prepared for the coldest, kind of like Alaska. Maybe you can do some layers and whatnot. But on this particular cruise that we watched, which I think was last year, it was brutally cold each day. By the way, great tip for the Christmas markets that we honestly never even thought about until we watched these vloggers yesterday. But they said try to visit the markets during the day, because they're beautiful at night, right? You want to get pictures, it's gorgeous at night, but they're so crowded. Some of them, especially on the weekends, it's kind of hard to get to the food. Sometimes it's a little hard to get to the little stalls. So they said in a couple of locations, they decided not to do the planned excursion, and they just kind of walked the city and went to the Christmas market during the day. And it was super easy to try the food, to get the gifts and all of that. So that's actually a really, really good tip. Now, we talked about the Christmas markets. Of course, we have other things going on. I'm going to go through them really quick for those of you, especially if you're new to the channel. But this coming Christmas, we have a late announcement that we're going on the Cunard Queen Elizabeth round trip Miami. This coming Christmas, it's what's called a distinctive voyage. And this is a selection of voyages through Travel Leaders Network, where you have the services of a distinctive voyage host. There is a special cocktail reception, and there is an included shore excursion. We have about 500 of these departures in any given year, or at any given time over the years. And I am actually going to be the host on this one. The Cunard Queen Elizabeth, December 18th through the 30th of this year. So we'll be celebrating Christmas on the ship. That'll be Miami, San Juan, Antigua, St. Lucia. St. Lucia is where we're going to have that shore excursion. Barbados, St. Martin, and Tortola. So that's going to be this year. If you'd like to book on that cruise, please do let me know. Again, the Cunard Queen Elizabeth, December 18th through the 30th, 2025. Then we've got the Brilliant Lady, October 3rd through the 16th, 2025. So this is a Canada-New England cruise and a repositioning cruise all in one. We're going to leave Quebec. We're going to go to St. John's, Halifax, Eastport, Boston. Then we're going to come down to Eastern Seaboard. We're going to stop in Charleston for 12 hours before we come into Miami 13 days after we started. This is a spectacular cruise. It's really, inventory is really low now. All of a sudden it caught fire. It wasn't catching fire for a while. All of a sudden everybody realized, hey, 13 days on the Brilliant Lady, this sounds pretty good. So October 3rd through the 16th, 2025, Rebecca and I will be there. We've got a nice little group of folks that are going to be there. It should be amazing. 13 days to try all that amazing food. Plus, we've got 12 hours in St. John's. We've got 12 hours in Halifax. We've got 14 hours in Boston. We've got 12 hours in Charleston. No short port stops on this one. You're going to have plenty of time to go out and explore. Virgin Voyages, Brilliant Lady, October 3rd through the 16th, 2025. You can reach out. Everything that I'm talking about right now is on our group's travel page. Where'sWalterTravel.com, group travel. And you can find all of these. Even the Christmas market one has been added. Best of Italy and Croatia. So in October of 2026, we're going to Italy and Croatia. October 23rd through November 2nd, 2026 on the Celebrity Constellation. We got a really nice group forming for this one. In fact, John's going to be there. We're starting Ravenna. We go to Split, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Messina, Salerno, Portofino, La Spezia before we end up in Civitavecchia. That's going to be an amazing cruise. Another one on my bucket list that I really, really want to do. And our group rates with the Wi-Fi and the beverage package is lower than the standard Celebrity rate without the package. And that's because we locked down the rates almost a year ago. I think I have 4 or 5 cabins left in my group rate. So if you want to come join us, certainly do reach out. And then if you've got the time, we're staying on the ship for another 15 days. We're going to do a transatlantic crossing from November 2nd to the 17th to San Juan. So that's going to be amazing. Now, coming up in February, I probably should have done these in chronological order, but I didn't.
You never do.
Oh, well, huh?
You never do.
I never do. I did once. That's it.
Well, yeah, because I gave them to you in order.
So February 4th through the 20th, 2026, we're going to Hawaii. Oh, my gosh. We've got a bigger group on this one than I thought we would. February 4th through the 20th on the Emerald Princess 16-day round trip. We go L.A., Honolulu, Hilo. Oh, boy, here's the one. I say Kahului, but there's another syllable in there. Kauai, and then Ensenada. And we have 10 sea days. So it's like doing a transatlantic cruise, but it's round trip. You got 5 days going out, 5 days coming back. It's going to be amazing. We've got a bigger group than I thought we would. Rebecca and I are planning to go to Disneyland for 3 or 4 days before the cruise. And then we've got, I think, 3 guests are all staying in the Queen Mary the night before the cruise. That's awesome. That is so awesome. So if you want to come join us, February 4th through the 20th on the Emerald Princess for Hawaii.
And I checked this morning, Disneyland hotels still not out.
Still not open. Oh, well. And then if you want to cruise with us and Tony and Jenny B on the very first cruise out of Philadelphia in nearly 20 years, we're going to be on the Norwegian Jewel, April 16th, 2026 for 7 days. It's going to be Philadelphia, Bermuda, and Charleston, South Carolina. That will be the La Lita Loca Triangle that we're going to do. And we're spending 2 full days in Philadelphia before the cruise. I'm setting up a food tour. I'm setting up a history tour. And we got a couple of driving tours. So we're going to have 4 planned group tours in Philadelphia for 2 days on April 14th and 15th. So if you want to come and stay early and join us on those, you can. And then we're going to have 3 full sea days on the ship. 2 days will be like full group. We'll have a full group activity. And one of those days, we're going to have a Patreon activity.
And the tours, it's going to be either or, with either a driving tour if you have mobility issues, or you do the walking tour if you don't. So it's either or.
We got a really great company. The food tours are going to be groups of 12. So everybody's just going to register for it. And then the food tour company is just going to break it up into groups of 12. And the history tour is only groups of 16. Very small group. So I love it. And the driving tours are even smaller. It's only going to be like 6 people. So we got it all set up with the tour company. We're going to have a registration page. Everybody's just simply going to register. And then the tour company is just going to break it up into groups. It's going to be fabulous. I love it. So April 16th through the 23rd, 2026 on the Norwegian Jewel. And then if you can't wait that long and you want to cruise with Jenny B and Tony this year, October 11th through the 18th on the Enchanted Princess, round trip New York, Canada, New England, New York, Newport, Boston, Portland, St. John, and Halifax. We're past final payment date. In fact, we're past final payment date on both of our New England cruises, ours on the Brilliant Lady and this one. So those will be paying full at this point if you want to join. But Tony and Jenny B, they've got a really nice group forming on that one. So that's all the group cruises that we have. There is another distinctive voyage for 2027, but I don't have the graphic. So I'm not going to talk about it just yet. But I do have the graphic for the Christmas market if you want to come join us on that one. Okay, I got to take a breath. Woo! Okay. Silver Honda, didn't somebody fall off a pier taking pictures? Was it at Coco Cay? I don't know.
I saw something about that. I'm not sure where it was.
Yeah, I know there was a couple that unfortunately lost their life over in the Med. They were taking pictures on a rock, like some sort of rock outcropping, and it sounded like the wind blew the wife off, and then the husband jumped in, and unfortunately they were both lost. They were recovered, but they both lost. I don't know if somebody fell off. You know, the thing about these piers is that there is no railing. There's nothing to prevent you from walking right off the pier. There's that magical yellow line that they all yell at you to stay behind the yellow line.
And please do that. So
please, yes, do stay behind that yellow line. But, you know, if you're taking pictures and you're trying to get a selfie and you're backing up, it's very easy to flip right off that pier because you're not paying attention. So it surprises me that more people don't fall off, especially in the age of selfies right now. So here's a great question from Peter. What has been your favorite cruise so far and favorite port? I think I'm with Gary. It's like my favorite cruise is the one I'm going on next. So that'll be the Star of the Seas for me. But I think in terms of relaxation, and it was such an unexpected pleasure when we sailed on the Oceana Serena, and Chef Jacques Papin was on there with his family. Totally unexpected. We had no idea. One, it was just a beautiful, relaxing cruise. And then 2, I mean, having the chance, I think I spent maybe 2 hours with him over the course of the cruise, just having a chance to chat. This is somebody I watched with Julia Child as a kid, you know, watching him cook. And it was like spending time with my grandfather. He was so gracious, so kind, his entire family, so gracious, so kind. So it was like hanging out with family. So that was pretty cool. What about you, Rebecca? You got one that stands out?
I don't.
No? No?
Okay. I'm not good at this.
Rebecca's not good at this. So the answer is no.
No, the answer is I can't come up with it right off the top of my head.
And I think for a favorite port, one of our favorite excursions so far has been this catamaran snorkel excursion that we did in Tortola. Was a really good one. So
it was good, yeah. I don't tend to like to do favorites. I kind of have more like kind of groupings.
Yeah.
So
John wants to know, do River Cruise Line typically take a smaller deposit amount, especially that far out? You know, up and down, maybe not. Don't know. Could be. But
actually, I haven't even really looked at what the full deposit is.
Yeah. So, it's, like sometimes, like Viking is famous for their $25 deposits that they do every so often. But then they ding you because you got to be paid in full at least 18 months out if you're in the United States. If you live in Europe, you pay 90 days out. But if you live in the United States, you pay 18 months out. So it's nice to get that $25 deposit, but then you still got to put up, the full amount 18 months before you get on the ship. That's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy. Okay, Bills fan is confirming, yes, it was Coco K, and they were rescued. That's good. That's good. Again, it doesn't surprise me, especially with the big ships. You're trying to get that perfect picture, and, I don't know. I really don't know the circumstances. And I will say, too, when those storms blow up at Coco K, holy crap, they blow up quick. And it is incredibly dangerous to be walking across that pier when the winds are howling because the pier gets slick. And again, there's nothing to catch you. I'm kind of surprised that they don't put some sort of railings up on some of the piers, away from where the ships tie up. So yeah, it'll be
because a lot of piers they tie up on both sides, so there really isn't a way to do that.
Hey, good morning, Michael. How are you? If you're just tuning in, folks, we announced our Christmas River Group Cruise is coming. It's going to be December 7th through the 14th of 2027. We're going to be on the Rhine River. We're not announcing anything more than that because we're just waiting for the paperwork to get finalized with the cruise line. And we intend to open the bookings this week. So if you are interested in joining us for this river cruise, again, it is going to be December 7th through the 14th, 2027. We will be on the Rhine River. It will be Germany centric. And if you'd like to be the first to find out all the information about it, please do drop me an email, info@where'swaltertravel.com. Subject line, 2027 Christmas Markets Group Cruise. And you will be the first to know. As soon as everything is signed with the cruise line, we're going to like I got an email that I'm preparing today. So as soon as we're able to send that email out, you're going to get the route. You're going to get the ship, you're going to get the pricing, going to get everything. And keep in mind that our river cruise ship is like plus or minus 100 people. I mean, this will have more than 100 people, but that means I might only have 10 or 20 cabins. I'm not going to have that many cabins because there's not that many cabins to give. There's like 40 to 60 cabins on these ships. So I'm not going to have very many cabins at the group rate. This is not going to be like a big, massive group. This will be a smaller group. And so if you want to come along, certainly want to drop me an email as soon as possible. So I put you guys on the list, and then it will be first come, first serve once we open it up. So we're very, very excited. So, Michael, we're not announcing any more details, including where it starts or ends. I will just tell you that it is Germany centric at this time. When we can announce it, there are reasons why we're not announcing more right now. And that will become clear when we actually announce the cruise. But that's all we can tell you. We can tell you the dates, and we can tell you that it will be predominantly in Germany, and it'll be on the Rhine River. We've been waiting for these cruises to come up. We started watching some more past couple of days, and then there was one in particular that we watched. It kind of triggered me to go look again, and sure enough, there was a cruise exactly where we wanted it to be, exactly when we wanted it to be. Again, we chose this week because it is after Thanksgiving. It is before the Christmas holidays really get into full swing. So there's plenty of time for you guys to travel to Europe, have this amazing adventure, buy gifts for the family, and bring them all back and then spend the holidays with your families at home. So yeah, very, very excited. Silver Honda, have a great time on your cruise in 113 days. Make sure you get all packed up now so you can weigh that luggage. Yes, absolutely. That sounds great. That sounds absolutely great. SL, thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. I love that you tune in every Sunday morning. So, and by the way, I always forget this on TikTok. If you're trying to ask me any questions about Virgin Voyages, please use the letters VV. Because TikTok will block out the question. That's not me. So I guess they don't like the word Virgin on there, even though Virgin is one of their biggest TikTok accounts, which is kind of funny. So anyway, so that's what's going on here. Stephanie, if you're not following Stephanie, Sean and Steph on Instagram, you should be. She's currently on the Treasure, that little lucky duck. She's on the Treasure all week. Took some nice pictures of the stars sitting there yesterday. So very excited to be getting on the Star, but I'm very, very, very jealous. The Disney Treasure is one of those ships I really, really want to get onto. And I mean, she's just teasing me. She's 55 minutes away. She's just teasing me so close. I really, really want to get on that ship. So yeah. SL, the early payment for Viking makes financial sense for the business, but hard on the customer. Did I hear that for subsequent cruises, the payment date is a little closer than 18 months? You have to petition Viking. Like once you've gone on a cruise, you can request 6 months out. You may or may not get it. It goes like from 18 months, I think, and then it goes down to 12 months, and then it goes down to 6 months. Like each time you cruise with Viking, it comes down, but not for Europeans, and it's because of the laws in Europe. It's 90 days out for European. So it is one of the reasons why, I love Viking as a company. They're an amazing product, but I think it's very unfair when all the other river cruise lines can do 120, or most of them do 120 days, 190 days before the cruise for that final payment. I think that's much more fair. It gives you more time to pay it versus having to, pay it all up front. But the business model clearly works for Viking. I mean, they're one of the best cruise lines out there, right?
And they consistently sell out. So
yeah, I mean, they consistently sell out, and they probably have more repeat business than just about anybody else out there. But it is interesting, when you like Gary Bembridge just recently did a ranking of the top, and Viking was not at the top, and it wasn't a cruise line that he thought was going to be at the top. So it is interesting, based on people, based on what people think. So yeah, it's really interesting. I know we do plan to go on Viking at some point. I just wish they didn't have that rule. So, hey, Denna, I hope I said that right. Alaska 2026. Which cruise line is your favorite? Seabourn, Windstar, Silversea, Princess, or Holland? I mean, you've got two completely different categories of ships going on there. So Seabourn, Windstar, Silversea, ultra luxury ship. That is going to be, the best of the best service. You're going to get into some ports that Princess and Holland can't get into because their ships are too big. The level of the service is going to be top notch. The food's going to be amazing. And again, you will get to go into places. That's one of the things that we loved about our Oceania Alaska cruise, that we went to 5 ports we've never been to in Alaska just because the ship was smaller, and we could go to some of these ports that the bigger ships can't. So then with Princess or Holland, I mean, that's a coin toss depending on the itinerary you want to go on. Princess and Holland, very, very similar experiences. Holland does have some longer itineraries. Like they have a 28-day Arctic Circle itinerary. That's insane. But when you get down to the 7-day cruises or even the 10-day cruises, you can really flip a coin between Holland and Princess because the itineraries are very similar. I think the service is slightly more proper on Holland. But really there is no favorite among them. I mean, we've sold them all, and we've gone on Princess, Holland, and now Oceania. We have not been, we're working on getting on Silversea. I think we're going to get on Silversea this winter if everything works out correctly, at least get a chance to go down and see the ship. But I don't have a favorite. I mean, if you want to reach out, it really, it's like everything else. It comes down to personal preference. What do you want? I have seen clients shying away more from Seabourn. Seabourn is not like, hey, I definitely want to go on Seabourn. It's more, I'm getting more requests for Silversea, for Explora, and, Windstar is something that's just starting to come onto our radar. Windstar is an amazing cruise line. But I am seeing less requests for Seabourn and more for Silversea, Explora, Viking, ships like that. But it just depends on what you're looking for and what you're trying to get out of the Alaska cruise. I'd say just reach out. There are links. You're watching me on TikTok. There's links on TikTok. You can just go ahead and drop me a line, or just go to where'swaltertravel.com. Contact us. I'm sorry, hon. Go ahead.
I will say, I mean, probably for all these lines, the first 3, because the ships are small, and the last 2, because they're very popular in Alaska, is the 2026 inventory, depending on what week you want, how many cabins you want,
Yeah,
it's already limited.
it is. Yeah, 2026 is very limited, especially if you're trying to go in the heart of the season, like you're trying to go late June into late August. That's the heart of the season. A lot of families going up at that time, so they do really fill in, especially Princess and Holland.
Yeah.
If you're trying to go one way, which if you can only go 7 days, that's what we always recommend anyway. It's that one way because you're going to get more destinations. You'll get an extra glacier or something like that. With the smaller cruise lines like Seabourn, Windstar, Silversea, we tend to see like some 10s and 12s, 11. Azamara has killer itineraries for 26. They're doing 10s and 11s. Oceania is doing 9s and 12s again, I think, for next year. We did a 12-day on the Riviera, and I've got so much content to put out for that.
I know for a fact that Holland and Princess have started to release their 27 itineraries already.
Yeah, we're booking Holland and Princess 2027 right now. Man, we kind of had a run on them like last week when they opened up. So that's just fantastic. Yeah, Dina, please do reach out. We would love to help you. It's really like anything else. So the way we work is we don't automatically, like you say, hey, I want to go to Alaska in 26. Of course, we've got Princess and Holland in the back of our mind when you say that, but then we do a full intake call, and I want to know, what are you looking for? What's important for you on the ship? What's important for you in the ports? What ports do you want to go to? What experiences do you want to have? We had I had a client I was talking to yesterday who originally was thinking, let's do a 7-day cruise, and then I'm going to plan out some stuff in Anchorage for like 4 or 5 days so I can go off and see things. She wasn't even aware that there were cruise tours. And she's like, wait, the cruise lines have like this land thing? I'm like, yeah, they have a whole land thing. So you don't have to think about it. You're just going to fly into Fairbanks. You're going to fly into Anchorage, Princess and/or Holland and/or Celebrity. They're just going to handle all the transportation. You got places to stay. You got things to do. And she was, like, oh, I did not know that. And that's one of the things that we do. We try to really listen to what you want, and then we match you up with the ship. It's always matching you up with the ship and the itineraries, never the cruise lines. Like, what's going to be the best ship that's going to give you the experience that you're looking for? Wherever you are in the world for the amount of time that you have. So yeah, so I really do enjoy talking to people, and Rebecca does, easily 95% of the research here. She's amazing at researching stuff. She's done so much research over the past almost 3 years. She can zero in, man. She know, oh yeah, so this time of year, I know these cruise lines are definitely heavy there. And she's going to take a peek, make sure nobody else is doing stuff. But yeah, she is really good at doing the research. So we'll jump in and make sure that we get all of that. So yeah. So please do reach out. We enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Like, we find stuff all the time, like these river cruises. There are some new itineraries, I think, because this whole Amsterdam thing is starting to come into play. We saw that in 2027. There was one cruise line that literally didn't have Amsterdam. I think it was just like one itinerary had Amsterdam, whereas like in 26, a whole bunch of them have Amsterdam. So I think some of the cruise lines are already starting to shift where they're going to start, how they're going to start, and maybe start moving out of Amsterdam, or at least kind of backing it off the schedule, which is why it's going to be interesting to see what Celebrity has to say. I think Celebrity was planning to start with a bunch of departures and arrivals in Amsterdam, but they may not be able to.
Well, they have said, or I've read that they've kind of hinted that they're going to start with the Rhine River, which a lot of those cruises up to this point have been either starting or ending in Amsterdam.
Yeah. So, and it just kind of makes sense, right? It's basically the top of the river, and then you come all the way down into Switzerland for the bottom of the river. So, and then you hit the Danube. Gosh, so many rivers, Thank you. I can't remember which cruise. One of the cruise lines actually gave me a flyer, a big map that has the rivers on it, like the Idiot's Guide to Rivers in Europe. We use that thing all the time because can't keep up with which river is which.
I'm starting to catch on.
Yeah, no, Rebecca's getting, because
well, at least I kind of got the Rhine and the Danube down.
Yeah,
not down completely, but
yeah. And by the way, Rebecca really helped with it. We were originally going to be outside, but dang, it is muggy as all get out down here in Orlando. So in about 15 minutes, we switched from being outside to standing here. And all those pictures behind me, by the way, those are my photographs from some of our cruises through the years. I got to get more printed. But one of the things that I really encourage you to do is, it's a great way to remember your cruises. Just do like one print to help remember a cruise. Like that is right there. That is Barbados up there, and there is the New Amsterdam sitting in Grand Turk. That is one of the best photos. If you're going to Grand Turk, you hope that your ship is on the beach side. That is like one of the coolest photos in all of cruising, is getting your ship in Grand Turk, because it looks like you can swim to it. It really does. It's so friggin' close. So I love that. But anyway, yeah, so print some of your pictures. Put them up on the wall. They're great conversation starters, too. I shouldn't have moved my arm so much. That hurt. Hey, a public service announcement for everybody watching out there, because, we cruise so much and we're in the sun so much. If you have spots around your body, please get them checked. I had what I thought was an issue on my leg. It just turned out to be a wart, but the doctor found a spot back here that he said was melanoma. And so on Friday, I went in and they did whatever they did. They cut a whole chunk of me out of there. And so I got this big old bandage. So I can't move this arm too much right now. But hey, my public service announcement, it takes 10 minutes or less for a doctor just to look around, maybe take a few biopsies and find out. So get yourself checked, especially if you're spending a lot of time in the sun. I'm really glad I did. And now I will be going in like every 3 months just so they can check it out, make sure, there's nothing else coming along. So that's my public service announcement. And now I'm going to keep this left arm down for the rest of the show, because that hurt. I forget sometimes. I'm like Kermit the Frog. What am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to put that. I'm just so excited about this Christmas cruise. I'm just going to put it back up there. I got to wait 2 years until we do this thing. But I've been wanting to do, okay, so has anybody watching, have you done the Christmas markets yet? Do you have advice for us for the Christmas markets? Gary had some really good advice about river cruising yesterday on the show, and he's got some really good, Gary Bembridge, in case you don't know who I'm talking about. Gary Bembridge, Tip for Travelers, just one of the best cruising resources out there right now on the YouTube universe. He has some great videos on individual cruise line and then river cruising in general. It is a completely different way of cruising. That's what I'm really looking forward to. And then hopefully at some point next year, like I said, KHM has this whole advisory group thing, leadership thing, where we get to go on a river cruise. And unfortunately, my colleagues are on it now, or they're about to be on it. So next year, I'm hoping that I will be there with them.
And you never know. Maybe we'll make it every year. I think in the spring, they usually have a river cruise expo.
Yes.
It would be nice if we could get to one of those, because you get to
really
tour.
Hard to get in too, man.
You get to tour a bunch of river ships.
You do. You get to tour like 12 different river ships. They pull them all up. One of the coolest things about river cruising, by the way, and I kind of wish we could do this in ocean, but, they have to double park, sometimes triple, sometimes quadruple park at the ports. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine, like Icon of the Seas being tied up to Oasis of the Seas, being tied up to Adventure of the Seas, and you had to walk across the ships to get to the port? That would be craziness. That'd be cool. That'd be craziness. That's what happens in river cruising. They have to double park sometimes. The first ship comes in, ties up to the port. The next one that comes in, if there's no other place to tie up, they literally tie up to the ship, and you walk across the lobby to get to the port. So you actually get a chance to walk through some of these other ships. It's actually kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that, to actually being able to walk across. Thank you, Annette. Yes, I'm glad the doctor caught that early. And like I said, it's kind of a funny thing. It was my leg that I was concerned about, and that turned out to just be nothing. But it was the shoulder. He's like, yeah, I'm worried about this, and I'm worried about something down on your lower back. The lower back was fine, but the shoulder. And of course, me being me, we spent the whole 45 minutes talking about cruising. My doctor's never cruised. The assistant has never cruised, but the other assistant's been on 3 cruises. So we were talking about cruising the whole time. Yes, I did leave my cards. I know. It was just like, they were like, hey, can you leave a card? Of course I did. So that was actually kind of fun. I mean, the 45 minutes went very quickly. So that was good. We're very fortunate. We've got some really good doctors in the area. In fact, I sent my primary doctor on a Disney cruise. They decided, it was like, oh, it's time for a cruise. And you're always talking about it every time we're in here. So they did reach out. We sent them out on the Disney Wish. They had a blast. I was following her Instagram account the whole time. Oh my God, they had such a good time. So that's kind of fun. That's me. You know me. I can talk here for hours about cruising. I can talk for hours about traveling, and that's what we do every week. And then we try our best to answer your questions. So be sure to keep those questions coming. Whatever we can answer for you about all things cruising, drop them in. We will be glad to answer. I don't know what happened on the slide on the icon of the sea, so I can't answer that.
Yeah, I think they're still in the investigation phase.
They are. But, I think Stephanie had a really good point about that most of those slides have a longer drop before it turns. And that
on land.
Yeah. And that one turns real quickly. So when you drop, you actually hit that corner, and you hit it pretty hard. So obviously after a year hitting that corner, we're just so thankful that the person didn't go through. Otherwise, that would have been a whole different story. So, and it is apparently closed on the Star of the Seas as well, which is smart because, you need to find out what happened.
Yeah, and those investigations do not go quickly because they need to be thorough. They need to check all the factors.
Yes. So
because there could be multiple factors.
So Stephanie and I will be enjoying the Category 5 water park on Star of the Seas because the 6th slide will be closed. And I don't like the drop. You guys like drop slides? I don't like drop slides. I just really don't. I want to go have a good time, but I don't just want to be dropped. I don't like that. So I wasn't going to do it anyway. I don't do the dry ones. And Norwegian has the dry ones on the Aqua and those other ships. I don't do the dry ones either.
We did the one on Symphony.
Yeah, but it's not a drop slide.
No, but you
sit on the thing and then you slide down, which, by the way, was the most tame slide ever. In fact, I had to scooch my way out at the end. Apparently, they've made it faster now by putting rollers in or something. But yeah. So
it looks very intimidating, and then you get on it, and
you're on it. You're like, oh, that was nothing. Kind of like the Aqua slide coaster on the Aqua. That is a fabulous ride. But once you're done with that launch, it's just a slide. It's just a nice little water slide. It's fun, but it's not like it's super intense. The launch is a little bit intense the first time, and then after that, you're like, this is fun. Laura wants to know, what is my next cruise? The Star of the Seas in 2 weeks. Very excited. This will be the first voyage that will be 7 nights. Right now, she's doing all of her preview cruises. So those are, I think, 3, 4, and 5 nights. I think they're just 3s and 4s. I don't think there's a 5 in there. But there's 3s and 4s. In fact, I got a whole bunch of colleagues on the ship right now. I'm very jealous. I'm watching them. But I also know that when I went on the Icon last year for 3 days, that about killed me. We tried to do everything in 3 days, right? You're running around the ship. You're filming. You're trying to watch the shows. I was dead after 3 days. I think if I got 10 hours of sleep in the entire 3 days, that was a lot. I was exhausted. So I'm really excited. I'm going for 7 days this time. And I'm going with Stephanie. So excited. Never been roomies before with Stephanie. So that's going to be so much freaking fun. And she has this whole list. Okay, we're going to do this content. We're going to do that content. We're going to have a lot of fun. And she's really into the Labubus, which I didn't know what a Labubu was until she showed us. And I'm concerned. I am quite concerned. I think Stephanie and I are going to have a discussion while we're on the ship. But if you see us, you will meet her Labubu, at least one of them. I asked her, I said, how many are you bringing? And she didn't answer. That makes me very concerned. It's just going to be fun. Fuddy, you've been waiting a long time. You have? Did you ask questions? I didn't see a question. I'm so sorry. In fact, for a long time there were no questions coming through. So I don't know if something got stuck or what, but there was a gap there of about 15 minutes that nothing came through on the TikTok side. Can I help you with MSC? Yeah, I can help you with MSC. We book MSC cruises.
We've been on MSC cruises.
Oh, have we? On the MSC? Yeah, but he's saying, this person is saying that they asked a question, but there was a long time there where everything just stalled. I didn't see anything from TikTok. So
yeah, it didn't come through on my end.
It did?
No.
Oh, yeah, no, it didn't come through here either. So can I help you with MSC? And then you're going to the Mediterranean. Now, here's the thing about the Mediterranean and MSC. MSC basically runs a hop-on, hop-off itinerary in the Mediterranean. Now, some people don't mind this. Some people think it's okay. But if you look at MSC's itineraries, you will see that you can get on or off the ship at almost every port along the way. So that means every port, or almost every port, is going to be an embarkation day and a debarkation day. So you're going to have people coming on with their luggage. You're going to have people getting off with their luggage. You're going to have the safety announcements happening. So it's almost a continuous embarkation day throughout the cruise. Now, that may not bother you, but it is something to be aware of, that literally at every port stop, or almost every port stop, it is going to be another embarkation day. It's not like the US-based cruises, or what most people think of, where everybody gets on the cruise in Barcelona, everybody gets off the cruise in Athens. It's not like that with MSC in Europe. In fact, they have some that are over here as well, like in South America. They do some stuff like that as well. It's very unique to MSC.
And they don't do it on US-based cruises.
No.
Because I don't know that they can.
And Royal Caribbean sort of kind of does it too. Royal Caribbean has sets of cruises where you can get on either in Civitavecchia or Barcelona. That's it. But MSC, literally, you can get on at almost every port along the way. And while, there are some interesting itineraries in there, that concerns me. I don't know that I would enjoy that, being on a ship that would basically, it's almost like Groundhog Day, right? Like every single port stop is another embarkation day. So if you've been asking questions on TikTok and I have not answered them in the last 15 minutes, it's because they didn't come through. So I would encourage you to ask again. I'm sorry, but it literally just stalled for about 15 minutes in terms of getting the questions. So, hey, Silver Librarian, how are you? Good to see you. Rick wants to know, do I know when MSC will be announcing their 2027 schedule? I do not. The cruise lines have learned not to tell us anything. In fact, the cruise line don't even tell us our reps anything because they're going to tell us. We met with Alex this week from Celebrity Cruises. He said he was told about the Celebrity River cruises 15 minutes before they made the announcement. Because they know. Brett at Princess is the same way. He's like, they don't tell me anything because they know Brett's going to be like, hey, Walter, I just found this out. Don't tell anybody. He's telling me. So they keep a lot of that stuff tight-lipped, and especially Celebrity is keeping everything about the rivers tight-lipped. They don't want any information coming out. So a best site for a last-minute cruise, we do that all the time. I just booked a cruise yesterday that's sailing in 3 weeks. So, the prices are all exactly the same. If you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get a really cheap cruise on some website for last minute, really the cheapest cruises are if you book them the day that they come out. That's been some of the best rates all along lately, especially since the pandemic. But if you're looking for a last minute cruise, all you have to do is just reach out and tell us where you're trying to go, when you're trying to go, and we'll go look for you and try to find you the best rate for that. In fact, we can even do that during a phone call if it's literally oh, I want to cruise in 2 or 3 weeks, just like I did yesterday. We booked them. They're going on the Harmony of the Seas. I think there were 3 cabins left, and so we got them. Definitely wasn't the cheapest 3 cabins, but there were 3 cabins left. We got them on there. But it's the one they wanted. So, John says MSC 2027 is open. That's right, John. I have you booked in February 27. It may be that not everywhere in 2027 is open. The cruise lines are doing that too, where they open select itineraries at a time. Like Princess Alaska 2027 is open. Holland America Alaska 2027 is open, and maybe a few other locations, but not like every itinerary. But you're right, the Caribbean is open, John. Thank you for that. Fuddy, you want to cruise in 4 weeks? Yeah, just go ahead and set up an appointment with me. We can hop on a call and you just tell me when and where you want to go, and we'll just go ahead and take a quick look, see what we can find you. No problem at all. Yeah, just reach out. Even before we became travel agents, we worked with travel agents because then you don't have to do that research. You could be running around site to site to site. You're going to see the same cruises at the same prices. Is this a good price? Is that not a good price? We can tell you because we book these all the time. We can tell you, yeah, that actually is a good rate. No, that's really high. Let's see if we can find you something else. I think trying to work with somebody like me, whether it's me or one of my many colleagues out there, work with a travel agent. So then we can help guide you, one, to the right ship, the right itinerary for what you're trying to do from what's available. And then 2, we can tell you whether the deal is actually good or if you're just throwing a lot of money away for a subpar itinerary, you know. So yeah, so just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com? You're watching me on TikTok. There are links in my bio, or where's WalterTravel.com. Contact us and just set up an appointment. Be happy to talk to you. Stasi, I'm so sorry, I can't. The lights are blinding me. Is September a good month to cruise the Caribbean price-wise? In general, yes. In general, it tends to be a little bit cheaper than the summer months. You know, once the kids go back to school, in general, the prices start to drop a little bit. But it all depends on the itinerary, the ship, the cruise line that you're going on, as to how good of a deal you're going to get. But I usually find like September, January tend to be two of the lower price months in the Caribbean, but cruising is still white hot. So, you know, depending on the ship you want to go on, depending on where you want to go, they could still be kind of high. But the nice thing about September, and especially like January in the Caribbean, there's a lot of ships. There's a lot of competition and there's a lot of choices. So you may be zeroing in on one ship, one itinerary, and haven't even considered this other thing. And we can be like, hey, did you know there's this other thing out there that's going to get you more value and maybe get you where you really want to go? So yeah, so just again, just reach out to me, reach out to any of our colleagues, and we'll be happy to help try to find you what is the best, which is the best cruise for you and best time. Go ahead, hon.
You skipped past Coral Rose. She asked, what's the best cruise line to take in Alaska? And I kind of know how you're going to answer this, but
where is that?
Right above Fuddy.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Coral Rose, what's the best cruise line to take going to Alaska? So anytime I get what is the best cruise for anything, it still comes down to you and what do you want to do? How long of a voyage do you want to take? When do you want to go on this voyage? And what is important to you in terms of the ship itself, the amenities that might be provided by the ship, and then what are the port stops and the things you want to do in the ports? Now, in Alaska, you hear us talk about Princess and Holland America a lot. The reason why we talk about those two a lot, because they've been going there for over 75 and over 50 years. They are the two longest running cruise lines in Alaska. They have the best berths. They have first choice in Ketchikan and Skagway and Juneau and some of the other ports. They have the best berthing location. They're also pretty much the only cruise lines that get into Glacier Bay, because only 2 ships are allowed into Glacier Bay every single day. You have to get a pass, and about 95% of those passes are owned by Princess and Holland America, and that is one of the premier destinations up there. But those are not cruise lines for everybody, and especially if you're talking about a land tour. Now, if you're talking about a land tour, we're going to very strongly lean into Princess Holland, and now we're starting to learn a little bit more about Celebrity and how they do their land tours. So we're looking at them as well, but you're not going to get Glacier Bay. And then of course the smaller cruise line, we just did Oceania for 12 days in Alaska. It was spectacular because we had 5 small ports that many ships do not go to. Well, really 4, because Icy Strait Point is somewhat popular, but we went to Haines, we went to Sitka, we went to Klawock, which is tiny, 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 and we went to Wrangell. So these are 4 ports that you simply don't see on anybody else's schedule unless you get onto the smaller ship. Then we've got like Azamara's running amazing itineraries, 10 and 11 nights up there. So there is no best ship for Alaska. I can tell you what I consider the best time to go would be May, June, September, just because that shoulder season, it does get crowded in Alaska, especially July and August are very like middle June to the end of August. Kids are out. It's a huge multi-generational destination. So it does get very, very crowded in Alaska during the middle of the season. So if you can go in May or early June, or you can go in September, it's going to be less crowded up there. So yeah, to Coral Rose, just reach out. Like I always say, our services are literally 100% free to you. We booked well over 100 cruises and cruise tours up in Alaska, so we know the area really well. We've got a fantastic working relationship with Brett over at Princess, Whitney over at Holland America. I got Guillaume up at Oceania. I got Sarah at Azamara. I just have some wonderful partners. Explore Journeys is coming in 27. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. And when people look at Alaska, they tend to only look at, well, I always hear about Princess and Holland, and those are two amazing choices. But there are a lot of other choices out there too that you just may not know about, and you're not really sure where should I do the research and what should I do. So yeah, just reach out either to me or to one of my many colleagues for sure, and let us help you. Yeah, you're welcome, Carol. Rick, by chance, going to be on the same. Oh, Rick, you're going to be on the Cunard Christmas cruise. You hope to meet me. Well, I hope so. We're going to have 12 days. We're going to have 12 days. Hopefully you booked that through a Travel Leaders Network travel agent so you can be part of the distinctive voyage that I'm talking about. I just popped it back on the screen. Rick is talking about our Cunard Queen Elizabeth cruise for Christmas this year, December 18th through the 30th of 2025. It's a 12-day round trip from Miami. Rebecca and I honestly didn't know we were going on this. It was about 3 weeks ago. We got the notification from Distinctive Voyages. I'm going to be the host. So anybody who booked this cruise with a Travel Leaders Network travel agent, this is a free add-on, just as a thank you for booking through Travel Leaders Network. And so you're going to get the services of a Distinctive Voyage host, me. You're going to get a welcome reception, a cocktail welcome reception, and we get a exclusive shore excursion in St. Lucia. So if anybody is watching this and you book through a travel agent that is part of Travel Leaders Network Consortium, if you're not sure, just ask them. If you booked it directly through Cunard, you're not going to be part of this group. But if you booked it with an independent travel agent, you can simply ask them, hey, are you in Travel Leaders Network by any chance? Can you get me registered for this distinctive voyage? It's literally free, completely free.
Walter will still talk to you even if you're not on the distinctive voyage.
I will definitely meet with you. Oh, absolutely.
Sit down, have a cup of coffee.
Yes, I'll have a cup of coffee any time of the day or night. You know that. You know me now. Of course, maybe it'll be tea because we're going to be on Cunard, so maybe it'll be proper tea. You might not recognize me because I will be wearing a tuxedo at some point. So that's a great way to see me with a tuxedo. Yeah. Thank you, SL. You appreciated the explanation that I gave on the live yesterday about group rates and how travel agent can tap into those and have better rates or we extras. I love that. We extras. Thank you. SL, I really want to meet you. I want to come to Scotland, or I swear, if you ever come to Florida, you have to let me know. I want to grab a cuppa with you at some point. You're so gracious to come on this all the time, all the way from Scotland. I'd love that we're able to do this, that we're able to hang out together all across the world. And I'm just standing here in my house and you're there. Oh, I just love this so much. So thank you so much for that. And what SL is talking about, somebody asked, what are some of the perks and what are some of the benefits of booking with a travel agent and getting into a group? There's two things at play there. One, there's an actual group cruise, which is like some of the things that we're doing with these groups and things like that. But then there are what are called just group rates that are consortium. I just mentioned Travel Leaders Network. The Travel Leaders Network, when all the new itineraries drop, like Royal Caribbean releases all new itineraries today, Travel Leaders Network goes in and they grab space on every single, like literally almost every single departure. And when I go to look at the Harmony of the Seas and you pick this one particular cruise, I can look to see if I've got group rates on there. They're not my rates. They just happen to be Travel Leaders Network. And if they're better than the rates that Royal Caribbean had, I can tap into that. Royal Caribbean has no access to those group rates. Only the travel agents that are part of the consortium that grab these rates. So that is one of the cool things, that is not only like you creating a group or me creating a group. Sometimes there's what's called headquarters group space on there, and we can just tap into that. And I've saved clients, $500, $1,000, $200 just by, hey, I've got a group rate. And on Celebrity, it's really cool because Celebrity, the group rate includes the Wi-Fi and the beverage package, and that can often be a significant savings over what Celebrity itself is doing. Kind of like my group rate right now on that Italy cruise. I can save you upwards of $2,000 per stateroom for two people on this Italy cruise, October 23rd of 26, because I locked down my rates 10 or 12 months ago. The Celebrity rate for my rooms just without the package is higher than my rate with the package. It's almost $2,000 less saving per room with the package. It's incredible.
And this is for 2 specific categories.
Yeah, it's only 2 specific categories, but if you're happy, they're both balcony categories, so which is very nice. Brandy, you're so kind. Use Walter for your travel needs, easy to book with, and great communications. You're so kind, Brandy. Thank you for saying that. We try. We try our best. Look, we are not perfect. We're not perfect by any means. We try our best, and when something doesn't meet up to our standards, or we don't do everything that the client feels like they needed, we do our very best to make it right. I mean, that's all we can do. We try to make it right. And I'm the first to tell you, look, I'm not perfect. We try very hard. I'm very excited. We now have Corey and Mindy as 2 of our associate agents now working with Where's Walter Travel. They are building their own clientele. Man, if you are a diver, you're a snorkeler, Mindy is a master diver. I'm learning the difference now between dive master and master diver. I had no idea. I'm learning all these things. But if you love snorkeling, and especially if you love diving, we now have Mindy. She will be able to help you put together some incredible dive trips. Plus, we're hoping that pretty soon she's going to start meeting up with some of our travel partners, and she may put together some diving packages or diving groups, which is going to be absolutely amazing. And then Corey is booking cruises, and he's taking a deep dive into Disney, Universal, and all the theme parks. So, I mean, I have been booking the theme parks, but I'm the first to admit that I don't know everything about them. So Corey is going to be taking that on. So we're very excited to be growing. And the 2 things that I have imparted on them is they have to provide that customer service. They have to be, they have to live up to what Rebecca and I have built. We've worked very hard for 3 years to build this up, thanks to all of you. And they are going to be held to that same standard. Whether you guys like it or not, you're going to be held to the same standard. So it's very exciting. And we can't thank you guys enough for allowing us to be part of your travel adventures. It's been very exciting for me. That's something I did not have it on my bingo card that I was going to be a travel agent. But, once I do something, I'm going to do it all the way. And here we are. So we're just going to do it all the way. So we love it. And we thank you guys so much for all the kind words and everything. So, but yeah, and I hope, thank you. Thank you. I was just going to say, I hope TikTok is still working with the comments because it did stall for a bit. But thank you, Kathy. Huge congratulations to you and Rebecca on growing your business. It's not easy. It is not easy. It's also not easy to be a travel agent. Like I tell everybody, it's pretty easy to book the travel, but all the follow-up, researching is not easy. And all the follow-up afterward, the actual booking part right in the middle where you actually go on the booking engine and book it, that's the easy part. Everything that comes before it and everything that comes after it is hard work. It's a lot of hard work. And especially if you want to grow it to the level where it's sustainable and where you can actually make a living doing it, because it takes a lot to make a living, especially, with us. Like I always tell you, our services are 100% free. We don't charge you any planning fees. We don't charge you cancellation fees. We don't charge you anything. All of our fees are covered by the travel partners. So we have to work that much harder to, get those bookings coming in and then make sure that you're satisfied. So you'll book with us again. And I think the biggest testament is when you guys recommend us to your friends. I love it when we get an email. It's like, hey, Brandy recommended us and said, we need to talk to you. And then we book them and they're like, oh my gosh, okay, this is a lot easier. Because, a lot of people, there are so many sites out there. You can do your own research. You can do your own this. You can do your own that. But if the services are free, why wouldn't you use a travel agent who can be on your corner to help out, who's got Kathy and Alex and Stacy and so many people, Sarah, so many people, Tamika. Oh my God, Tamika at Virgin Voyages. She will move mountains to make sure. If she can, she will try her hardest to move mountains to make sure that you guys get everything that you need. And I think that's the real power of working with a travel agent, is when things go sideways. We have people, we will go through the proper channels to try to make things right. But then if the proper channels aren't working, then we call Kathy, we call Tamika, we call, all of our reps, and we build relationships with these people. So it's not just like we're calling on them when we have a problem. We build relationships with them. We get to know them, they get to know us, and it is absolutely, it's just so much fun, and it's so rewarding. Last week Jim and Betty chimed in from Norway. They were on a lift somewhere, and I said, it's just so cool. It's like, guys, you guys are over there. I drive Rebecca crazy sometimes because we'll find these itineraries, we'll book. I'm like, can we go? No. We would be completely bankrupt if we went on everything I wanted to go on.
Well, plus we'd never be home.
Yeah, I know. But we're starting to now focus in on, okay, what are the trips we really want to do? And this trip to Italy is something that we've been talking about for a while. In fact, we had the trip planned all the way back.
I think like 2012,
2009.
No,
well, we built the building in 2010. So yeah, I think it was 2011, 2012 we were supposed to go. And then I built a big commercial studio. That was dumb. We should have gone to Italy instead.
Should have prioritized cruising.
I know, we should have prioritized that. Why did I build a studio so I could do television shows and videos and all that? That was dumb. We should have gone to Italy, but we're going to Italy now. 2026, we're going to go to Italy. So now Rebecca and I are really focusing. Our groups, you're going to notice, are going to be more toward bucket list kinds of trips. We'll still have some, fun trips and stuff like that in the Caribbean, but you're going to start to notice that the focus of our group cruises are now going to be on those destinations and the places that we really want to go. And we're really hoping that you guys want to come along with us. We got Italy coming up. Hawaii is another one of those. We've been wanting to do one of these big Hawaii group cruises for a while. So in February, we will be on the Emerald Princess. We're going to do this. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to have 10 sea days to really get to know each other and annoy the crap out of each other for 10 days because, we can't get away from each other. You're going to see me for 10 days.
Oh, you can still find places away from Walter.
I know. We'll find places to hide. So yeah,
he doesn't go to the spa much, so you could go there.
That's true. I might finally get a massage on that one. Who knows? You never know. So, but yeah. Hey, Curtis, thank you so much. You just wanted to say that yesterday's show with Gary Bembridge was great and quite informative. Thank you. Everyone should watch it. Curtis, you are incredibly kind. Gary is just, he's just one of those people that you don't appreciate how kind and how nice he is until you get a chance, like really hang out with him. I mean, what you see is more or less what you get. I really want to meet Mark as well. But Gary, so I've never met him in person, but I have had many conversations with him, off camera and directly. And we had a situation at one point early on with our travel agency, and he was just a tremendous sounding board, tremendous. He had an extremely successful career in marketing prior to doing what he's doing, and just a really nice guy. I'm truly honored that he wants to recommend us. One of the things I'm most proud of, because you see when I put up my main graphic, and when you go to our website, you see that we're travel partners with Sean and Steph, with La Lita Loca, with Cruise RX, and of course Gary recommends us. We never asked for any of that. Stephanie said, "I want to be your partner." Tony and Jenny B said, Jenny told me, "I'm retiring. I want you to now be our travel partner." And then Peter, as his channel was growing, he said, "I want you to be my travel partner." And Gary just offered during a conversation. He said, "I really like how you've been building your company. I like what I'm hearing about your company. I would like to start recommending you." I think that's the thing that makes me the most proud of what we've done. Is that of all these travel partners, we never asked them, "Can we be your travel partner?" They actually asked us if we would be their travel partner. And I just think that really speaks volumes to what Rebecca and I have done, to what we're trying to do. We try to do the right thing, and doing the right thing sometimes, you got to work a little bit harder. It takes a little longer, but I try to do right. I don't know how that whole conversation got started, but but yeah, thank you, Curtis. We do appreciate that. And we appreciate everybody who tunes in and watches every week, and especially all of those who let us work with you. I think I've got like 12 proposals that we're working on right now. It's been an interesting year. If you would have told me last year we were going to have 2 associate agents working with us, I would have laughed at you and said no. And then once Corey came on board, Mindy just but we've known Corey and Mindy. They've actually been clients of ours. They're both well-schooled in traveling, and they're both brand new travel agents. And when they said they wanted to get started, they both came to us and said, "Would you allow us to work with you?" And I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled somebody wants to work with us. So So we're getting down near the end here, folks. I'm going to put the Christmas cruise up one more time. And for those of you on TikTok, I know you can't see this, but we will be opening up. It should happen this week. We're going to open up our latest group cruise. It is going to be a Christmas Markets River cruise. The dates are December 7th through the 14th of 2027. Telling everybody early so you can get ready. And it's going to give you almost 2 years to pay for it. It's, look, river cruises are not exactly cheap, and Christmas market cruises, especially, is a very tight window. It's a 4-week window. So they're, again, not exactly cheap. And we did not pick a cheap cruise. We picked a good one. We picked one that we want to go on. It is not biking. I can tell you it's on the Rhine River. I'm not going to tell you where it starts and it ends. I'm not going to tell you the cruise line. I'm not going to tell you the ship yet. And there are specific reasons why we're not doing that. That will be revealed once we can. But if you would like to join us on this cruise, or you would like to be the first to get information on this cruise, please write to me, info@where'swaltertravel.com. Put in the subject line, Christmas Markets Group Cruise 27. And I will put you on the list. And at some point this week, we should get the go-ahead from the cruise line to say, go ahead, start selling. And then we will send out the emails immediately to everybody who's on the list to say, here it is. This is going to be a very small group. The ship is just over 100 passengers. It's not like an ocean cruise where we can grab like 50 cabins. There's only like 40 or 60 cabins on the ship. That's it. So we're probably going to have maybe 10, maybe 20 cabins. That's it. At whatever group. We don't know yet whether we're going to get a group rate or we're going to get group amenities. That's part of what we're still trying to, work on. And
I'm suspecting it will be amenities.
I think it will be amenities. I don't think it will be a rate. But again, we're still working on it. Tomorrow's Monday. So hopefully, by Wednesday, we'll have it all signed, sealed, and delivered. And when that happens, I won't be announcing it publicly. I will be sending the emails directly to the folks who reached out first. And there have been some people over the past couple of weeks as we have been teasing this saying, please let me know, please let me know. So I will be,
and
I
send
hope
another
I got
email.
Everybody written down. If you've already told me that you want to be alerted, please email me again, just to make sure, because we have been some pretty crazy. So anyway, but yeah, so it's going to be interesting,
Fingers crossed we can announce the specifics next Sunday.
Yeah, specifics next Sunday.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed we can actually have the actual specifics. And by then we will have we should have alerted everybody that was on the email list. So Darla is looking for Norway, but you've also wanted to do a river cruise, and now you're so torn. Hey, do both. No, I know. It's like, what do we do? We're kind of at that point too, where like in 26, we've got 2 big cruises going on. We've got the Emerald Princess in February, which is going to lead right into the Norwegian Joy, because we have a conference to go to on the
Encore.
Norwegian Joy. Huh? Encore, Norwegian Encore. So we're going to be at sea. Oh man, I should not have lifted my arm up. Ow. So we're going to be at sea for almost 30 days between Hawaii and the Caribbean. And then in October, we're going to be at sea for 25 days plus 5 or 6 days in Italy. We have 2 massive trips coming up in 2026. So that's why we have nothing planned in the middle of the year at all. And in 27, we knew we're definitely doing this one. And we may do another river cruise or something in the middle of the year, or we were also potentially looking at going back to Alaska in 27. So we want to get this one announced. We want to get this one out there. But the Christmas market has been my bucket. Gosh, I don't know how long I have wanted to do this. So we're doing it. And if there's any way to drag Stephanie along, I'm dragging Stephanie. She's usually very busy at that time of year because of what she does with Disney. But, if there's any way to drag Stephanie along, I'm going to drag Stephanie with us too. Really want her to experience it as well, because it's just so magical over there, right? And it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. So make sure you pack up and get ready for that. Probably going to have to do a whole episode on packing for Christmas. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap it up, folks. It is 12 noon here. I know I usually have a meeting at 1 o'clock Eastern time, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel here in the Orlando area. If we can help you in any way with your travels, just reach out. where'swaltertravel.com. We'd love to help you. Me, Corey, and Mindy. We would all love to help you. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for your support. And wherever you are in this amazing world, have an awesome day, everybody.